I want you to take a second and close your eyes. Just close your eyes and listen. Do you hear that?
Oh man, yeah, I hear that. I hear somebody is baiting nostalgia.
That is the sound of childhood for so many people. And if you don't recognize it, it's the opening theme of Sword Art Online, a 2012 anime that took the world by storm. Back when this show first aired, everyone thought it was the coolest thing. If you didn't watch SAO, you didn't watch anime.
How do you do, fellow kids?
What?
But for some reason, 11 years later, the show is the butt of every joke. I mean, people generally believe a fan-dubbed version of the show is superior to the original.
That's crazy! That's crazy!
I know I'm preaching to the choir when I say this, but I hope I can convince you to give SAO another shot. Because I'm glad I did.
Guys, wait, I swear it gets good.
Sword Art Online
is adapted from a light novel series by Reki Kawahara. It follows a boy named Kiriyaga Kazuto, aka Kirito. His obsession with the latest tech leads him to beta testing a new full-dive MMO called Sword Art Online. On release, all 10,000 players were trapped in the game world. Their means of escape? Clearing all 100 floors of the game.
That's quite big.
People found this premise fascinating. I mean, this could be reality.
No.
Technology was advancing so quickly that the idea of a fully virtual environment was possible. But the thing is, SAO was advancing at an even quicker pace, and many Westerners weren't too happy about that. The Aincrad Arc in Sword Art received criticism for its extensive use of time skips. By episode 3, the story had already progressed to the 27th floor, which led to a significant gap in the narrative. A gap that was addressed much later through supplemental novels. Many people didn't appreciate how quick SAO was moving, so why exactly did Kawahara-san skip this?
Gotta go faster!
Well, to answer this question, simply sit down and try to write SAO from floor 1 to floor 100. Cool. Glad we're on the same page. Time skips in storytelling can often leave an audience feeling as though they've missed something essential, and Reki Kawahara's ambitious story scale only fanned that flame. The choice initially appears to be a misstep, something that the inexperienced author might later regret. Yet with time, this gamble would pay off in future narratives. This, however, was not the only challenge in Kawahara's writing. One major contention with SAO is its frequent use of deeply troubling elements as central to its plot. While a novel can delve into the psyche of a character to delineate their morality, SAO often resorts to showcasing outright heinous actions to express a character's evil nature. If these specific scenes detracted from your enjoyment of SAO, your sentiment is understandable. And although Kawahara-san has shown growth in his narrative style, this problematic aspect recurs throughout the entire series. And since SAO, he said he stopped relying on these elements. On a Twitter post after a controversial episode, Reki Kawahara said he would prefer to express catharsis or emotional turmoil through other means, and that if he were to write it, he would do so in a book that isn't a light novel. I'm sorry, what? What stands out in Kawahara's literary journey, however, is his conscious effort to evolve as a writer. Recognizing the gravity of the subjects he was exploring, he began to approach them with increased thoughtfulness and care. After the Aincrad Arc, we start to see some experimentation with Reki Kawahara's storytelling, and the quality of the stories vary. Let's go through them in order, shall we? Aincrad! 10,000 people are trapped in a video game and can't escape. Alfheim! 300 people are still trapped in a video game and still can't escape. Wait a second, Ricky, what the f*** is this?
What is...
Gun Gale! Nobody is trapped, but you can't escape.
Death Gun is my name, and the name of my gun.
Alicization! Just one person is trapped, and they can't escape. Wow, I never thought of Reki as a mathematician. But let's be real for a second. The Alfheim Arc, otherwise known as the Fairy Dance Arc, is infamous for, a lot of things. It's where Sword Art Online took a notable shift in direction, and it's one of the most highly divisive arcs. Its premise shifted from a high-stakes survival drama of Aincrad to a rescue mission featuring fairies and magic. It also delved into more sensitive themes that were uncomfortable. For most viewers, love it or hate it, the Fairy Dance arc is still an important moment in Sword Art Online. It marked the transition from the initial concept to a more expansive and experimental phase. The information Reki Kawahara gathered from writing this arc was also invaluable. Now, the Gun Gale arc, also known as the Phantom Bullet arc, is the exact opposite of Alfheim. The arc is darker, more grounded, and takes place in a post-apocalyptic virtual world filled with guns and tactical warfare. Kirito is pulled into an investigation involving real-world deaths connected to the game, with a throwback to one of the villains in the Aincrad Arc. When looking back at these arcs thematically, we can see they all represent different types of stories. In some cases, a different genre. So what if, just what if, we combined all that experience into one? Fast forward to more recent years, and Kawahara-san's skills have evolved. The Alicization Arc, which spans the 3rd and 4th seasons of SAO, I would consider a significant step forward in storytelling within the series. Imagine waking up in a world that feels both strangely familiar and different. You have no memory of how you got there, and everything seems to operate on rules that restrict your humanity. This is exactly where Kirito finds himself at the start of the Alicization Arc, and the sense of mystery is palpable. There's a return to the sense of wonder and exploration that captivated me back in Season 1, yet it doesn't merely retread old ground. It builds upon the series' foundation with an even bolder story. As the plot unfolds, it becomes clear that this is not the SAO we once knew. It's a meditation on identity, reality, and human nature. And it gets better. Kirito is given a true equal, someone that journeys with him and makes up for his shortcomings as a character. We get to see the two of them eat with each other, make jokes with each other, and fight for each other. And when the going gets tough, they'll cry for each other too. I can't express how much Reki Kawahara has grown as a writer, and I recommend that you watch the Alicization Arc. You don't need to watch anything except this arc's first episode, and I promise you, you'll love Sword Art Online again. If this doesn't convince you, then I understand. SEO betrayed a lot of people's expectations, but I didn't have any to begin with. Now, for a brief reading of Reki Kawahara's greatest work, Chapter 16.5. No, that is not happening. It's not happening, but I did want to take this part of the video to discuss something you might find important, and it's the handling of intense themes. All too often, many young and aspiring writers have run into issues integrating sensitive subjects into their stories, and it comes to no avail. We can see this with Reki Kawahara in the earlier arcs of SAO, where he didn't really understand the topics he was approaching. So, my message to you, anybody that's writing a story out there, is to do your research, and work as hard as you can to make sure you get that situation right. And even see if you need to add that subject in the story in the first place to communicate your message. Because half the time, half the battle is taking out stuff from your story, not putting more in. Other than that, I recently got a haircut, so for the next month, I probably won't be called the thekeenginger, I'll be called the keen buzz cut. So yeah, that's happening now. I definitely didn't say all of this to stretch out the runtime of the video, make it past 8 minutes. So I will see you guys later. Bye-bye. Wait. No, oh, you gotta be kidding me. Reki, you were doing so good. Why did you put this in why did you it all up?